important developments have happened in the last 24 hours regarding Ethiopia's Tigray conflict and Oromo Liberation Army, a group fighting in Ethiopia's Oromia region for decades. Firstly, a US State Department has issued a statement. It has enforced an arms embargo on Ethiopia and Eritrea. What is the significance of this move? What would be the impact of an arms embargo on Ethiopia imposed by US government? Secondly, Oromo Liberation Army has issued a statement. Its spokesperson Oda Turbi shared this statement on his Twitter account. The statement has been issued after we saw yesterday pictures of Jal Gulicha, a top OLA commander, defecting. He announced to surrender. We'll talk about OLA's statement. Thirdly, viewers, some news sources have been claiming since yesterday that PM Abiy has given the go-ahead to Obasanjo, a former Nigerian president who is mediating a Tigray conflict. And Obasanjo is going to meet Tigray leaders in coming days, not in public but in secret. We'll talk in detail about these rumors, I would say so far. Firstly, was US arms embargo on Ethiopia and Eritrea. State Department, US State Department's Political and Military Affairs Wing issued a statement a few hours ago. US State Department says that the US has decided to impose arms embargo on Ethiopia. Eritrea is already under an arms embargo from the US. This arms embargo on Eritrea will continue. US State Department says that in May this year, US Secretary of State announced withholding of US security assistance to Ethiopia. In accordance with that decision, it has been now decided that an arms embargo be put in place against Ethiopia. What does it mean, viewers? What sort of impact will it have on Ethiopian forces? Firstly, this arms embargo means that now no Ethiopian force, police, intelligence, Army, Air Force, no Ethiopian Air Force will be able to purchase any weapons, any defense articles from the US. Firstly. Secondly, Ethiopia will not be able to make use of US defense services, trainings, other types of services. Ethiopia will not be able to obtain anything from the US in terms of defense equipment. What sort of impact will it have on Ethiopia? Well, Ethiopia has scores of options when it comes to buying weapons. It's already buying weapons from Turkey. Reportedly, it's buying weapons from Iran and the UAE as well. Ethiopia can purchase weaponry from Russia and China. So even if there is arms embargo from the US on Ethiopia, it does not mean that Ethiopian forces will be crippled. Ethiopia has scores of options to purchase weapons. Those countries which are under arms embargo from the US, they are purchasing weapons from other countries. In fact, their homegrown arms manufacturing industries are making progress. So it won't hurt Ethiopian forces a lot. Secondly, viewers, Oromo Liberation Army has issued a statement. Yesterday, I informed you about a key commander of OLA surrendering to Ethiopian government, Jal Gulicha, who remained commander of Southern Front for more than a decade, almost viewers. Oda Turby, OLA spokesperson, issued this statement on his Twitter account. OLA says that Jal Gulicha withdrew from the field almost a year ago. He had some health issues. He wanted to seek medical treatment. After recovering, he refused to join Oromo Liberation Army. In July, a session of OLA, a General Assembly session of OLA was held, but Jal Gulicha refused to participate in the session. Oda Turby in the statement has confirmed that Jal Gulicha had disagreements with other OLA commanders. And Oda Turby says that we wish him the best if he has decided to lead a civilian life. Now, when I'm saying that defection of Jal Gulicha is a blow to OLA, I say it because Jal Gulicha has led Southern Front Guji Burana for more than a decade. Because he was one of the most experienced commanders of Oromo Liberation Army. And OLA has more presence on two fronts, Western and Southern fronts. Western front is led by Jal Maro. Southern front was led by Jal Gulicha. Jal Gulicha has now surrendered. Reportedly, his deputy is now in command on Southern front. I see it a blow to Oromo Liberation Army. And Oda Turby confirms that there were internal disagreements due to which Jal Gulicha decided to surrender. Lastly, viewers, since last night we have been hearing speculations that PM Abiy Ahmed has given the go-ahead to a mediator, Obasanjo, to contact Tigray leaders. It's not confirmed so far, but speculations are going around since last night that Obasanjo met with PM Abiy in Addis Ababa yesterday. PM Abiy gave him the go-ahead, and Obasanjo is going to meet Tigray leaders not in Tigray but in Sudan in coming days. UN will arrange a flight for Tigray leaders who will arrive in Sudan from Tigray, where Obasanjo, who has been appointed by African Union to mediate Tigray conflict, will meet Tigray leaders. Now, so far speculations, but if PM Abiy has given the go-ahead to Obasanjo, it's a very positive development. Interestingly, because yesterday PM Abiy met Obasanjo, and yesterday a meeting of Ethiopian National Security Council was also held. At the end of the meeting, PM Abiy issued a statement on his Twitter account, and he said in his statement that National Security Council had reviewed the security situation and new directions have been passed regarding future activities to ensure security in Ethiopia. So, on one hand, it seems PM Abiy is planning a new offensive. On the other hand, these speculations are saying that he has given the go-ahead to Obasanjo to contact Tigray leaders. Why is that Obasanjo is not going to Tigray? Why is he going to Sudan to have a meeting with Tigray leaders? Obviously, viewers, Tigray leaders earlier issued statements against African Union. Tigray leaders said that African Union was a partial body, it was not impartial. And Obasanjo has been appointed by African Union. So it would be helpful for Tigray leaders as well if the meetings are conducted in secret. Just like PM Abiy met with Obasanjo, but no official statement so far from the Ethiopian government. A positive move, viewers, from Obasanjo. Prospects of peace are very dim, but this is the time to intervene, because if Ethiopian government starts a new offensive now, this war could go on for months. That is why this is the right time to start talks. Indirect talks can be started away from the public, in secret, like Obasanjo is doing, but it's overall a very positive development, I think.